In this video, I want to show you how the approach plates normally work on the AF-5000 system. Notice with the touch screen, if you touch anywhere, notice approach plate is grayed out. The reason being is there's no waypoint. We're not going to an airport. So let's go ahead and fix that and see what happens. So down here on our Avidyne IFD, I'm going to go ahead and go to FMS. We're starting there. So let's pretend we're going to go to Aurora. Brought up Aurora, hit enter. We're now going to activate direct Aurora. Now we're going direct Aurora, and notice back on our EFIS on the top it shows waypoint ID Aurora. Now if we touch the screen, the approach plate button is no longer whited out. You can touch it and it brings up the first in the list, which is usually the airport diagram. Notice over here the knob says page. So let's push in and let's select what we want. So let's say we're going to do the RNAV GPS 3.5. I select it, I zoom in, you can pan anywhere on the screen. Now it's going to remember that. If we touch the screen, we go back to the map. To come back, you touch the screen, you can hit approach plate and it remembers the approach plate. Once you've selected approach plates, it's going to stay there for that airport until you select a new airport. So let's say we've made the approach to Aurora, and now we're going to go to Salem. So let's go down here and let's change our destination. I'm going to move the cursor down. I'm going to hit enter, waypoint. I'm going to put KSLE. And this is where a lot of confusion for people comes in. We're going to hit enter. So I'm now going to go direct to, enter, activate. Now notice we're going to Salem. And let's go look on our map. So let's touch, we're still in the Aurora approach plate because that's the last one we selected. So now I'm going to select map. Notice we're still on Salem. So if we select here and select approach plate, it still brings up Aurora. So a lot of people say, why do we do that? The reason is we can't just automatically switch, because what happens if you had a departure procedure plate? So there's a couple different ways now to switch it. The easiest way is bring up the flight plan. There's Salem. We're going to hit the info button down here, and there's the approach plate. Now we can hit page just with our knob and select, let's do localizer Y runway 31. Now we've selected Salem. Notice Salem. So now when we go back and forth, map, go back to approach plate, Salem is now the plate. So just to even carry this farther, let's go back. Let's say we decided, let's not go to Salem anymore. Let's go to Corvallis. So we'll go down to the Avidyne. We'll move down. We'll hit enter, waypoint, KCVO, enter. Now let's divert to Corvallis. Enter, activate. Now we're going to Corvallis. But same thing. The approach plate, the destination's changed, but when you bring up the approach plate, it still has Salem. We don't know if it's a departure procedure or the old approach plate, so we don't switch all the way. So we could do the same thing here. We could bring up flight plan, Corvallis, hit info and approach plate, but instead of doing that, let's show you a different way to do this. Let's go back to the map. We're going to touch the plane first. Now we're going to go all the way down to Corvallis. We're going to touch with our finger or joystick, Corvallis, touch Corvallis. Notice the Corvallis airport info came up. All we have to do is hit approach plate down here, page, select approach plate. So let's do the runway 35 GPS into Corvallis. Hit enter. Simple as that. So now when you go back and forth to the map, to the approach plate, now we're going to Corvallis. Same thing if you were, let's say you had an emergency, you're flying along and you said, oh my gosh, I need to go to Aurora, I need to bring up an approach plate quick. Let's hit nearest, Aurora, hit info, notice the knob info, hit approach plate. Select the page, say we need to come back, we're going to do the GPS 3.5 into Aurora. Now we've selected that, we're still going to Corvallis, but we have brought up the Aurora approach plate. And it will stay the Aurora approach plate until you select a new airport and hit info. So there's multiple ways to do it. You can touch the screen, you can bring up the flight plan, you can hit nearest. What you really want to do is select the airport first, then info and approach plate.